Back live, and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's latest statement citing delimitation concerns has now sparked off yet another fight. He's announced at an all-party meeting that's being convened on the 5th of March to discuss the impact of delimitation of parliamentary constituencies in the state. In all, 40 registered political parties have been invited to this meeting. The Chief Minister appealed to all political parties in Tamil Nadu to take part in this meeting and raise their voices unitedly. BJP Chief K. Annamalai has hit back, contending that when TN Chief Minister Stalin knows the whole of Tamil Nadu has rejected their argument except a few paint dabba carrying DMK cadre on third language for our children studying in TN government schools, similar to the schools run by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's family, he now wants to shift the narrative to his imaginary fear of Tamil Nadu losing in the delimitation of seats. What a shame and downfall of the DMK is what he said. PM Narendra Modi had clearly said delimitation, if and when it happens, will be favourable to all, including the southern states. So why this fear-mongering is the question that he has asked. Now, is this deliberate, or is it a concern raised, or is it deliberate fear-mongering? Uma Anandan, leader of the BJP with us, Pulla Rao, political analyst with us, and Anand Ranganathan, author with us. So, Pulla Rao ji, delimitation has to happen. It is mandated. What is Mr. Stalin trying to do here?
Yes, Mr. Stalin is just trying to remind the country, when Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister, the 42nd Amendment was passed, number of seats in Lok Sabha was frozen and the assemblies. Then again he is trying to remind the country, in 2002 when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, they brought the 84th Constitutional Amendment and the seats have remained frozen. He's trying to remind that there is a genuine fear across the country that two things may happen. I'm saying may happen. One is, if this frozen order is lifted, then there will be the same number of parliament seats, but different states will have different number of seats. Second thing is, if the number of seats increase also, and then you use population as a yardstick, again, proportionately northern states will get more and southern states will get less, proportionately. So he is trying to raise this issue. And I must be fair, about 6 months ago, the Prime Minister himself has said obliquely that, you know, if some people want power according to numbers, will they agree that for the delimitation? He meant, obviously, he is aware of the problem and he is probably looking for a solution. Stalin wants to remind, I imagine, the whole country or South India, whatever, that should it not be better to have an early resolution and say you freeze the seats, or what is the formula, so that people don't feel hurt and cheated. This is a genuine issue, whether it's Andhra, other places. Two issues. The changing of number of seats state-wise with the same number of parliament seats, or increasing the parliament seats, and then there will be a disproportionate apportionment. So that he is raising an issue. It's a political issue. The government of India should come forward, amicably resolve it, and I think they will resolve it. You know, they will have a frozen order shortly.
Your thoughts?
First, I would like to tell that, as you told, the narratives, the fake narratives are changing every 2 days, 3 days in Tamil Nadu, because their dishonest politics is being blown to pieces by our leaders, by both central and our state leaders. First, I would like to ask their language, the 3-language policy, which they went on telling Hindi is imposed, Hindi is imposed. When we were trying to say, ask them to show in one place where we are imposing Hindi, while the schools run by all the partners of this Tamil Nadu ruling alliance are running schools which have this 3-language formula. So our leaders question, is the 3-language formula only for the rich kids and this ruling party politicians' kids, not for the common person who is studying in the state-run schools? Should they not be benefited? Why is that being denied? So when this truth was told, they have to set another narrative. So the next fake narrative is now there. Who spoke about the delimitation? Why is Mr. Stalin alone so intelligent that he has seen what is being forecast? Is he like Nostradamus, seeing what is going to happen 20 years hence or 30 years hence? Is he able to see the future, while the other chief ministers of South India are dumb? They are not able to see. So why is this fake narrative being encouraged? So again and again and again, why this fake narrative is being taken by the DMK, the ruling party DMK in Tamil Nadu? That is our question. And he cannot, and he has no business as a chief minister to take the people into a panic mode. As the Chief Minister, it is his responsibility to make the subjects of his state secure. He has I think he is going against his oath of office. If he puts all of us into a panic mode, trying to retaliate against a fake narrative, I think he is failing in his duty, and I must remind him about his oath of promise. And again, I would like to say, Mr. Pullarao, to go through the interview given by our leader, Mr. Annamalai, so that he can gain some knowledgeable, truthful, honest points to speak here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is very, very limited on all of this. But so far, what I have seen, wherever delimitation has happened, seats have only increased. Seats have not come down. Now, if that is the case, why is Mr. Stalin saying that there will be 9 seats that will be lost? 9 seats will be reduced in the Lok Sabha.
Who gave him this? Who gave him these facts?
You see that?
Dr. Ranganathan.
Has any minister came out? Has any minister came out with this? Where did he get the news from? Where did he get the news from? As the Chief Minister, it is his responsibility to tell who told this.
And also, when you look at size to dynamics and constituencies, etc., it is also a combination of area and also population, density of population in each of the regions. So if there has to be a balance that is created, then there has to be a balance that is created. You can't, Dr. Ranganathan, say there should be status quo when it comes to delimitation and seats that we have in our state. But you have to restore parity in terms of contribution to the exchequer. There you have to have parity, but here you should not have parity. So whatever suits us is what it should be. You know, some of these things, is it deliberately trying to whip up a frenzy, or is he just worried, saying that okay, if there is some shift, something happens, let's be prepared. How is it going to be? What is the agenda here, Dr. Ranganathan?
No, but why deliberate? I mean, if tomorrow Mr. Modi advocates pranayam, Stalin will say stop breathing. You know, this is a blatant move that is full of nefarious agenda. Let me explain it in under a minute. First of all, this thing about less number of MPs will get Tamil Nadu is based on a report which is non-peer reviewed and from an American university years ago. And it takes into account if there are no increases, then Tamil Nadu will get 9 seats according to a US university non-peer reviewed report, number 1. Number 2, my good friend Mr. Rao talks about, look, Stalin is only reminding the people of India. Well, why doesn't Mr. Stalin remind the people of India what Jawaharlal Nehru said about Periyar? That, you know, key should be thrown away and he should be locked in a lunatic asylum. Why does Mr. Stalin not remind the people of India it was Mr. Karunanidhi who wanted and advocated for one nation, one election? Why doesn't Mr. Stalin remind the people of India that back in February 2008, Mr. Manmohan Singh undertook the delimitation of 24 states? And finally, why doesn't Mr. Stalin remind the people of India that the 3-language policy was advocated by his ally Congress back in 1968 to the Kothari Commission? So, Mr. Rao, there are a lot of things that Mr. Stalin needs to remind the people of India. But let me remind you that there are 2 options out here. If the number of seats increase to more than 850, then Tamil Nadu will get 11 extra MPs. And Uttar Pradesh, every state, as Anand correctly says, logically, and it is true, will get more MPs. So this kind of scaremongering is unacceptable, undemocratic. The Delimitation Commission is by an act of parliament. If you don't respect it, you are not partaking in democracy. As simple as that.
Mr. Pullarao.
I just want to say, yeah, you see, that's exactly, I'm thankful you have confirmed what I said, Doctor. It's very nice of you.
Will you stop agreeing with me all the time, Mr. Rao? Please stop agreeing with me. Last debate also you agreed with me.
You made my work very easy. And
it's not good for debates. Stop agreeing with me.
Exactly what I said. You see, you said if the seats go to 850, Tamil Nadu will get 10 more. But if the seats go to 850, Uttar Pradesh from 80 will go to 120. Now, where do I get this logic? That's what is being talked about. That's what I said earlier. There are 2 fears. One is that the existing number of seats, 543, the distribution within the country will change. 2, if you increase it, then this proportionate business. Now, you have 100 rupees. I give you 10 is 110. Madam has 200 rupees and she gets 220. The difference goes on. That is it. And I sincerely believe It is time for the government of India, Narendra Modi ji.
But is 100 is the same as 200, sir? Is 100 equal to 200? Sir,
No,
10% of 100 will be 10, 10% of 200 will be 20. You can't say, oh, in numeric numbers 10 is less than 20, so you are giving him more and you are giving me less.
No.
Sir, what logic is this, sir?
If Tamil Nadu goes from 40
I
to
hope
50,
Tamil Nadu government
Uttar
schools teach
Pradesh-
better than this.
Say, Uttar Pradesh
Mathematics
goes,
and application of logic. Sir, please, Tamil Nadu population, very respectfully, Tamil Nadu population is 8.53 crore people and they have 39 seats, sir. Uttar Pradesh population is 26 crore.
What is 20% of 40?
26 crore and they
20% of 40
have
is
80 seats, sir.
8 only.
Does Uttar Pradesh have commensurate representation
20%
or
of
does
40?
Tamil Nadu have more than adequate representation to ratio of population?
Doesn't work like
What,
Doesn't
sir,
work.
how are we supposed to look at this then?
20% of 40. 20% of 40 is how much? Please do your mathematics. So Tamil Nadu will get more than 20%. While
No,
if
no.
it is
It
100,
becomes-
120, 20% of 120 is how much? So UP
Say,
is getting less
it's very
when you compare it
simple.
to the percentage. So please learn your mathematics.
No,
Please
no,
learn
no,
your
and
mathematics.
I'm
Percentage and all that.
also saying you should actually be turning around and saying that states like Uttar Pradesh, yeah, they are a huge state, sir. They control 26% or 26 crore people live in Uttar Pradesh. States like Bihar are all highly populated states. The delimitation has population as a consideration. No, if that has to happen, then states should get
It was divided into
commensurate
how many
representation with respect to population. That is
Then
the
why-
that is the
Uttar
logic.
Pradesh
sir.
divided
One
into
minute,
how
one
many
minute.
states?
Umaji and then Pullarauji. 1 minute. One by one. Yeah.
See, Uttar Pradesh was divided into how many states? Tamil Nadu, has it been divided so far? Uttar Pradesh, how many states have been carved out of Uttar Pradesh? How many
Very small
states have been
state,
carved out of Tamil
Uttaranchal.
Nadu?
Uttaranchal, that's all. 5 MPs.
There.
5 MPs, that's all.
What about
Uttaranchal,
Tamil Nadu?
Uttaranchal.
Has any
Uttaranchal.
other state been, what is
Tamil Nadu-
has Tamil Nadu been
Tamil Nadu-
divided?
Tamil-
Andhra Pradesh has
Tamil
been
Nadu-
divided.
Tamil Nadu has lost
Yes.
Andhra Pradesh,
Sir,
parts
what
of
is
Mysore,
20%?
parts of Kerala.
Please.
No.
My
Sir,
God, that was independence. Don't talk about pre-independence.
Pullarauji,
That was the entire
now you are
Madras
saying 10%
presidency.
of 10.
Madras
On the one
presidency
hand, you are
talking
saying
about the
10%
British
of
rule.
100 is 10 and 20% of, 10% of 200 is 20.
No.
10 is greater,
Madras
less than 20, so it's
presidency.
unfair.
You're
On the
talking
other hand, you are
about
saying
the
pre-independence era,
Careful,
Tamil Nadu
widen.
lost land. Sir, the erstwhile state, it was not even called Tamil
British era
Nadu.
you're talking about.
It was not, it was called the province of
Tamil Nadu.
Madras. So, sir, I'm just
Madras
saying
presidency.
we are
It was called
unnecessarily
Madras
arguing for
presidency.
arguing's sake. The point is, sir,
And,
this for
very
Mr.
quickly.
Stalin to look at a non-peer reviewed report and also defy logic and to try and generally drive up a frenzy. First they said, language imposition. Then they said this one, delimitation and less seats for less representation of Tamil Nadu. Is it just deliberately trying
No
to
money.
revive some
No
60s
money is
formula
being
that will
given by the
perhaps work
center.
for them? It's not going to work, sir. It's 2025. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
No, I'm afraid what I'm going to say, Mr. Rao might still agree with me yet again, but I need to say this. Look, couple of points out here. This is not a case that we can make in all honesty. There is, as I said, an act of parliament. There are people, there are cutting across party lines, leaders, politicians, including mathematicians,
Right.
who are going to sit and decide based on population. Just to give you an example, the Uttar Pradesh population is 4 times the population of Tamil Nadu, and yet it only has twice the number of MPs it has. Now, is that right? Is that wrong? We are not to decide, Mr. Rao. And just like Mr. Stalin and all the southern
Right.
states who are not BJP ruled states always complain why they are getting less share from the State Finance Commission, it's the same thing.
Right.
There are
So-
mathematicians sitting there as well.
So
They are the ones who decide how much finances should
there is more to it than meets the eye in the way the narrative is being spun, and there is more to it than meets the eye in the way this entire delimitation process will work. I thank all our guests. We're going to wind up. That's the end of this edition of The Right Stand. Stay with us. Brass Tacks after the break.